Welcome, guys, back to night 2 of WrestleMania 3. Nasty, you excited for this evening's events?
Of course I am excited. We're back here with another beautiful night of WrestleMania in West Virginia, and I'm ready to see some action, baby.
But before we get there, everyone enjoy this beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful from Alice. Thank you, Allison, once again for that beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful. Now we're just going to lead it off to her during the introductions for the following matchup.
Your opening contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Coming to the ring first, from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing in at 212 pounds, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Nasty, this rivalry has been hot for over a year now. Who do you have, Bryan Danielson or Bret the Hitman Hart?
Well, who do you think I have, Justin? You know, my glorious, glamorous king, Bryan Danielson is going to win this 2 out of 3 falls match.
Making his way to the ring next, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 232 pounds, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Nasty, this, though, is a different version of Bret Hart. Last year, felt like both men were on the same page. Bryan Danielson came out with victory, injured Bret Hart, and the Hart Foundation brutally attacked Bryan Danielson for the better part of the year. Just when it seemed like Bret was on Bryan's side, Bret did the most dastardly thing he could possibly do, and he attacked Bryan Danielson. Along with the Hart Foundation, took Bryan Danielson out for months. Do you think any of that plays a factor in how this matchup goes for Bryan Danielson?
I think that it's either going to make Bryan Danielson more, aggressive towards the Hitman Hart and show that hatred in this ring and anywhere else they take this match.
I think both men going off for a very technical start.
Bret Hart catches Daniel Bryan with a mean uppercut to the face, and now with them chops. Ooh, he is taking it to Daniel Bryan. My bad, Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson floats over the back of Bret Hart. Bryan Danielson able to catch him with that arm drag, drop kick.
He takes off the head of Bret Hart with that drop kick, and now he's just going to take the beating to him. Show him that technical wrestling that Bryan Danielson holds.
It seems like Bryan Danielson has got something to prove here, trying to out-wrestle Bret Hart, one of the best in the world, the best there is, the best there was, and some might say the best there ever will be. Do you think Bret has to stoop to these low-tack, pulling the hair, taking advantage of the ref? Is that something that Bret's going to have to do to take down Bryan Danielson tonight?
He might, because the technical masterclass that Bryan Danielson is, Bret, I feel like, in my opinion,
look at that reversal into the pinfall, Nasty.
2, and now he kicks out.
Into the sleeper hold, rear naked choke like. Can Bryan go to sleep? Is Bryan going to go to sleep this early?
Of course not. The GOAT, in my opinion, he's not tapping out to that or going to sleep to that. He's going to
Danielson up to his feet.
And rams the chest of Bret Hart into the turnbuckle.
Roundhouse kick to the chest. Danielson taking it to the veteran. Now placing Bret Hart on that top rope. What's Danielson going for?
I think he's going for that signature knee to the back of the neck. And it lands straight to the Hitman Hart.
not quite for Bryan Danielson. It's going to take a lot more to take down Bret Hart. Bret going behind, taking Danielson down.
Bret the Hitman Hart, just little bros. Bryan Danielson. And now, oh my God, look at the diving out to the ringside area onto Bryan Danielson.
Replay, look at that. Bret Hart landing on the top of his head, taking out Bryan Danielson. The ref starting that count of 10. Does the first fall? Both men outside count out? How does that look for the start of this match?
I don't know. It could possibly be that, especially after they both landed.
It can't be that. Bret's in the middle of the ring. But Bryan Danielson makes Bret Hart miss that drop kick, goes for the roll up, but Bret able to float over the back.
And he's going for that power driver. Gonna drop him on his head, but no. Bryan Danielson reverses and looks to slingshot him up onto the ring post.
Both men going to the top. Bryan Danielson looking for the back body drop, but Bret Hart floats over to the top of the head and is able to steal the first fall early in the matchup. Bret Hart up 1-0. Bryan Danielson, look at this replay, nasty. High angle, drops Bryan Danielson on his head and neck. Is that going to play a role for the rest of this matchup?
It could possibly be. We know Bryan Danielson has past injuries with his head and his neck. And Bret falling on top of it cannot feel good. I just hope that he comes back and wins this match.
Okay. Nice to stay non-biased. Bret Hart still playing the mind games, going to the outside, still jaw-jacking with the ref. And that did not play in his favor just there.
A mean drop kick to the chest of Bret Hart, and Bryan Danielson is going to show him how fast he really is, and catches him with a running elbow to the chin. Could this be over? No.
Cattle mutilation. Bryan Danielson locking in. Signature maneuver reminiscent of the times in Ring of Honor. Can Bret Hart make it out of this? The only choice he has either to quit or make it to that bottom rope.
And he makes it to the bottom rope, gets his foot just barely on it.
The toes nasty. The toes nasty. Made it. And now Danielson calling for the end. Can he tie this up to 1-1?
He possibly could. Is he going to connect with it? And he does not. Gets his knee caught and just dumped over the ring onto the apron just like a little boy.
We're little boying him again, but Bryan Danielson, you got to think that knee, that's going to be a cause for a lot of trouble for the rest of the match, especially if he can't even float over the back. Danielson looks to be in a lot of pain, head injury, knee injury, but that running knee from out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
Another game changer.
Yes. But think about that knee though. Like, you need that to walk. If he can barely walk, then how's he going to score a pinfall or a submission on to Bret the Hitman Hart?
Nasty! Bryan Danielson just connected with the low blow. 2 and got a 3. Just like that, we're tied up 1-1. Bryan Danielson, Bret Hart.
Bryan Danielson had to snoop so low, but can you blame him? He has an injured knee, his head hurts, and look at this replay of that low blow, straight to the giblets of Bret Hart.
I think the master in this scenario is Bryan Danielson, distracting the referee, but as you can tell, it's not helping him now. I think if anything it's done is just pissed Bret Hart off. He's targeting that knee.
He's trying to make sure that Bryan Danielson can even make it out of this match. But no, he's going to running drop kick in the corner and set him down with the DDT.
Bryan Danielson connecting with those elbow strikes to the side of the jaw, showing a more aggressive side now that we are in the later part of this matchup.
Yes, and Bryan Danielson blocks on that armbar, trying to make the Hitman tap out.
I don't know if this armbar is to tap out, more to wear down Bret. Transitions into a pin
and a quick little roll up. Almost got the 3 count. Could have got the job done there.
Bret Hart goes to suplex Bryan Danielson outside, reverse brainbuster on the outside.
Oh my God.
What's Danielson going for next?
He just shakes the brain of Bret the Hitman Hart, and he's looking to dive, but
Bret Hart throws Bryan Danielson on his skull. We're going to catch a replay of that real quick. You got to think, is it the mobility in that knee that caused Bret Hart to be able to have that time to get back up and reverse that maneuver?
I think it could have been just, it slows you down when you don't have both your legs working. And Bret the Hitman Hart drop kicks the steel steps into that injured knee of Bryan Danielson.
Nasty got to think about the exposed concrete on the floor. Superplex on the outside.
My gosh. And that possibly took out both men. That looked like it hurt both of them. Bryan Danielson has to be hurting after that one. Kenny can still compete in this match.
We got referee Bradshaw and Charles Robinson out here checking on both Bret and Danielson. Look at this one more time.
Oh my gosh. That was deadly. The back, the neck of Bryan Danielson just lands on that concrete.
I mean, even Bret, man, both men connected so hard on the concrete ground. Bret going back out to the outside.
Bryan Danielson grabs the leg and just sweeps him off the apron onto the concrete. He's going to throw him back in the ring. What does Danielson have up his sleeve? He's going to climb to the top rope.
But the Hitman, always one step ahead, cutting Danielson off, and then following up with that neck breaker, continuously working on the head and neck of Danielson.
This is the first cover ever since that superplex, but no, Danielson does kick out.
Going for another power driver attempt, but Danielson able to reverse
that power driver, kicks him in the face, sends him out. Now he's gonna fly. Springboard, lands on top of the Hitman Hart, takes them both out.
Danielson trying to get it back in the ring. It's kind of like Danielson's pulling out all the stops just to get even with Bret Hart. It seems like Bret's been one step ahead the entire matchup.
And he takes him out with that running knee. 1, 2. Can this match be over? And it is not. The resilient Hitman Hart kicks out.
Both men getting to their feet. As you can hear the crowd right now chanting "Fight Forever." I wouldn't mind seeing Bret Hart and Bryan Danielson go on all night long.
At this point, I don't want this match to end, but they're going blow for blow right now, tat for tat, and Bret the Hitman Hart sends him into the rope, knee to the stomach.
Bret Hart, once again with the experience, I think gave him the upper hand, connecting with that elbow drop off the middle rope.
Yes, the veteran that is the Hitman Hart, and look, he just takes out that knee, dragon screw, and he's going to keep working that knee, single leg Boston Crab.
Can Danielson make it to the ropes, Nasty? Bret's got this synced in. He's worked that knee since the beginning of this matchup.
Listen, I want Danielson to win this match as much as anybody else in this crowd, but he does get to escape, falling out to the outside of the ring, holding that knee. That knee plays a big factor in this match.
Bret Hart's been ripping at the sheds, but I mean, I think the biggest mistake so far in this matchup has been Bret Jack with the damn referee.
Yes, and Bryan Danielson going for something off the top rope, but the resilient Bret Hart takes him all down with a superplex.
Both men down again. Once again, the referee instituting that count of 10. Does this end in a draw right now?
It could possibly. These both men have been going at it, but no. The Bret the Hitman Hart stands up. Is Bryan Danielson going to beat the count? And yes, he does.
Both men up. Both men on even playing fields. But Bret Hart with the running knee, the psycho knee, taking out Danielson. This could be it, Nasty.
No, it's not, because Bryan Danielson kicks out at 2.999.
What does Bret Hart have to do to take down the American Dragon?
I think that it's going to take a lot more punishment to that
Nasty.
Oh my God! On his dome! He folded in half. 1, 2, and no! My goat still kicks out.
I think if Bret Hart We're going to get a replay here in a second, but if Bret Hart would have hooked that leg, this could be all over. Yes. Look at how Danielson folds.
Holy.
And right here, the key mistake, just draping the arm over the chest.
Yes.
If he would have hooked that leg, we could be looking at a winner right now.
Yes. And Danielson would tell him to come at him and wraps it around into another arm bar. This one looks like it might make him tap.
Possibly the best technical wrestler of our generation, Nasty. Bryan Danielson is right now out wrestling Bret Hart, with Bret able to wrap that pin up. But Bret with the sharpshooter.
Oh my gosh. Is he going to tap? Is he going to tap? We have never seen something with this masterclass before in ILW.
We definitely have not. So far, I think these men, this is the longest singles match already in ILW history, and these men have no sign of slowing down. Bret Hart reversing the ankle lock, sending Danielson into the pole
with a roll-up too, but no, Danielson kicks out to keep this match going. They're breaking records as we go on.
Bryan Danielson placing Bret Hart onto the top rope. Hurricane Rana off the top. Danielson on fire. Calling for that Busaiku knee. Can he win this matchup right now?
Fans are going crazy, and he connects with the knee. This could all be over right here.
Bret Hart kicks out just in the nick of time once again. Danielson not playing any games, throwing Bret back out to the outside.
And he's going to the top rope with a flying, basically body splash, whatever you want to call it. But Bret the Hitman Hart pushes the back of Bryan Danielson into the steel steps. You heard it. That slam, that sound that the steel steps made.
Now Bret Hart taking it to Danielson all the way up to the arena. Bradshaw trying to get these guys back in the ring.
He flips off the ref. What is this guy doing?
Bret Hart just told the ref to go F himself, and that might have cost him.
Mean German suplex onto his neck. And look at Bryan Danielson going for a knee probably.
Back body drop onto the the entrance ramp. We're going to get one more look at that. This German suplex, like Nasty said, absolutely nasty.
Disgusting. That was a disgusting German.
You had to have thought Danielson going for that running knee. But Bret Hart caught him with the back body drop on the entrance ramp.
Mean kick to the stomach. And now he's going to hit them signature yes kicks.
You can't deny the heart of Bryan Danielson. At this point, that's got to be the only thing keeping him going in this match.
Oh my God, he reverses that German suplex that looked like roundhouse kick to the head.
Bryan Danielson just said he's going to kick Bret Hart's effing head in.
Oh my God, and look at him stomping the brains out of Bret the Hitman Hart. And he's going to lock in that label lock.
Will Bret Hart tap? Is this it? Bret Hart seems to be fading, clutching for life, waiting. Can he get out? Can he make it out of this label lock?
It looks like he's going to pass out, maybe. Oh, wait, he's fading. The ref checking.
And your winner, Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson takes down the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. What's next for Bryan Danielson, Nasty?
I think he needs to shoot to the top and go for a world championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta think this might be the last time we see Bret the Hitman Hart, but congratulations to the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.